What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I want to talk about this tower that we have for Tekken because this thing is actually really ridiculous. This is the hardest tower that we have ever faced, and I do have a few criticisms regarding this thing because, one, it is super difficult, and I don't have a problem with it being very difficult. The problem that I have with it is, even though I have insanity for CP, right? You guys can see when you go all the way to the top of this tower, you need 125,000 CP. So you're thinking, oh, that's a good amount of CP. But I mean, if you get the Tekken set, you level up the characters, you level up their stones, you can really easily get that CP requirement, right? And when you take a look at my Nina, 215,000 CP. Way over the cap, way over what we need. Now, before we get into me showing you guys the run and how much damage we actually do with this character that has insanity for CP, this is also something else that they've done. They put the rubies in here. I mean, you can acquire some rubies as you go through the tower, but you can get rubies as you play here as long as you fit these requirements. These things right here, this clear within 60 seconds crap, when you start getting into these higher levels, guys, it is almost impossible to do it. Even with super strong characters like Jin and EX Hwarang. Even with those characters, even with a ridiculous amount of CP, it is extremely hard to get everything that you need. The other thing is that they made requirements to where you actually need certain characters to get all the rubies. Now, it's not a lot of rubies, right? It's not a lot, but especially when you're free to play, you want to get as many rubies as possible. But really, if you're any player, you want to get as many rubies as possible. And I always preferred it when they just had rubies in here where you just collect them as you go, and you didn't have these requirements. I mean, look at this, guys. Clear within 30 seconds? Huh? No, it's not happening, guys. I have a friend, I have a guildmate that has an A6 EX Hwarang who can't do this. A6, my friends. 270,000 plus CP, and it just won't happen. Why, Netmarble? Why would you put such high restrictions in here, such high difficulty for the tower? This is supposed to be a fun thing that we do in order to get the maximum rewards there. I mean, I don't want it to be super easy. I want it to be a little bit difficult, but this is just ridiculous. And when I take you guys in here, right, we'll come in here, and I just want to show you the damage that my 215,000 CP Nina here, right, a character that I have, godly cards on, that I have 4 Tekken stones on, and 1, regular Moonstar stone, max capsules. Let me show you how much damage she actually does and why it's so difficult to do the clear within 60 seconds crap or clear within 30 seconds, right? This is nuts, okay? Now, when you're playing with Nina in here, it's a pretty good idea to use that third skill so you get that decreased damage received by 80%. That is godly for this character, and also using her stuns on her second and third skill when you tap the skill twice. It makes a big, big difference for the character. It makes a big, big difference for the character. Okay. Oh man, not bad. We took a little damage there. Okay, get over here. And there's also just so many mobs in these things, right? I mean, the mobs are just endless in this crap. And, a lot of players out there, like say me, like on my free-to-play, we're not going to pull for every single character, and we're just going to be using, a character like Nina to do this. Obviously, if you're using EX characters, it's going to be a lot easier, right? It's going to be a lot easier with those characters. But like I said a second ago, guys, my buddy, even with an A6 EX Hwarang, can't do those, clear within 30 seconds or even clear within 60 seconds on some of these stages because it's just so hard. And I think it's kind of crappy that Netmarble done that. They made it to where you pretty much have to pull for OP characters in order to try to finish this tower. And I get that, and I get the fact that they're trying to give you incentive to do that, but I really think they should have got rid of these ruby restrictions. I think it would have been a lot better, in all honesty. So I'm just trying to get my stuns in there, right? So I can, make sure I don't take any damage. Another thing is Nina, and this is just a little criticism I have, and I've mentioned before in other videos, Nina should have had hyper armor. Why in the hell didn't they give this girl hyper armor? I think it's ridiculous that all she has is super armor. I know she's got decreased damage received, but I really think that it would have been better if she would have had, some hyper. Well, I know it would have been better if she would have been. Well, if she would have had hyper armor, right? It would have increased their survivability a little bit more, especially for this game mode. I mean, and the thing about what I'm doing right now is, a lot of players out there. I mean, they're not going to have the resources to A5 Nina unless they've been playing this game for some time, right? That's just the truth of it, right? They're not going to be able to do that. So, like, a lot of times, we would see like A3 characters could actually do this, right? But because these characters don't have explosion, which is something that Netmarble did intentionally, we can't cheeseball this game mode and just murder them, right? We can't do that. Oh, not bad. So I should have hit my third skill right there. And this one, look at the damage I'm taking, guys. Look, and I just died, right? I just died, right? One hit. I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? The character died almost instantly. Now, if I'd been using that rush dungeon set, I would have got a decreased damage C by 99% for 5 seconds. But that's just insanity to see that kind of damage. I didn't even get to show you how much damage Nina does to the boss because I just got murdered immediately, right? Should have just went into my 3PG. But that's kind of how it goes sometimes in here. And it's actually good that you guys saw that because that's the realism of this game mode. Like, there's times where these guys go in their supers and they just murder you. Like, if you got a character like Nina, I mean, this version of Nina, you'll get destroyed, right? So now let me show you guys how difficult it is, even using an A5 Devil Jin, right? We'll go against level 44 here, right? You got to clear this within 60 seconds and clear without using a finished skill. Now, this is definitely possible, right? But clear within 60 seconds, this is tough. I think it's possible, but it's just so difficult, even with all this CP, even having a Tekken set on this character, right, with this ridiculous build that I have on this guy. Like, look at this, all 5 Tekken set, or Tekken stones, right, max stones right here, right, I mean, everything, right? I mean, we can go ahead and equip this here to give us a little extra something. We could add a little extra CP, but this is going to give a little extra critical damage, right, make us hit a little bit harder, okay? So now we're rocking, 200 and almost 260,000 CP. Now watch this. Watch this, right? Now they do have a requirement where you clear without the finisher skill, and we can do that, but you got to play it multiple times. That's another thing about this is it's set up in a way to where you need to play this multiple times in order to get it done. Okay? There we go. And you want to be like, if you're trying to do these time restrictions, you want to be using your 3PG so you can stall the timer. And you guys can see the damn. Look at this, guys. We're not murdering this dude, right? It's taking time. I mean, this is crazy to me. That, I mean, it's like you guys. It just is so ridiculous to me how even with a leveled up character like I have my Devil Jin, that we're just not doing enough damage to clear this within the time frame. I know it's not a huge deal. I get it, right? A lot of players are going to be like, well, it's not that many rubies. It's not a big deal. Well, I mean, it kind of is because they set it up to where, even with these leveled up characters, you're just not getting all the rewards. Kind of takes the fun out of the game mode. I mean, look at this. Right? Look at this. This is just ridiculous. Maybe I'm not playing it optimally, but I'm just trying to put things in perspective and show you guys that how hard this actually is. I mean, it just got mob after mob after mob after mob after mob over and over and over, even with a character that resets their skills, right? I mean, it takes a while to be able to do this. I mean, maybe I could have done it faster with concentration, but it's just the idea that Netmarble set this game out this way, right? The idea that they made it so difficult is honestly pretty ridiculous. I mean, look, guys, we already hit the 60-second mark. We already hit 60 seconds, right? And then we still got to take on Nakaruru here. Right? We still got to take this girl on and murder her. It's just... it really is bonko to me. I mean, I actually think this is the most difficult difficult tower we've ever had. All right, let's murder this girl. right? I mean, we were 13 seconds slow. Probably could have done it faster. Maybe we could do the 60-second requirement. But it's not an easy thing to do. It's a very difficult thing to do. And this is just stage 44. This is just stage 44. There's a lot of these stages where you guys can see that I have some completed here where I got everything, and then some where I just didn't, right? Clear within 60 seconds and 20 or less hits and these kinds of things. I mean, they made it really, really difficult to do this. And if you don't have, like, even if you have these super strong characters, I mean, everybody's going to get Nina here, but even if you don't have these strong characters, it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, these bosses, they can seriously mess you up. You saw what happened to my A5 Nina a second ago. She got absolutely murdered, right? It doesn't take much at all. And I really would prefer if they just took all these rubies and just put them up here and here to where we acquired them that way. Get rid of these restrictions. I guess it can make it interesting for some players out there, but I think they really should have got rid of it. I also think that these characters that have this insane CP, they should have an advantage. Like characters that have more CP than what they're actually recommended, especially by double and, ridiculous. Like you got 200,000 CP for like this game mode right here or this stage right here. You should be doing even more damage. You should be doing double damage, right? Why is it that my 260,000 CP character or 250,000 CP character isn't really doing a lot of damage, right? It's just ridiculous, right? So, Net Marvel, they got rid of the explosion. They gave us these characters, which is great. They're super strong. They're awesome, especially for certain game modes, except for maybe Reviving Hell's Dungeon, because they can't cheeseball the bosses, right? They don't have explosion. They can't just bypass and do tons and tons of damage really quickly. And they made this tower way, way harder, but I think aside from even that, the tower is even beyond that. So, I mean, the struggle is real, I think, for a lot of players in these towers, guys. Let me know what you think about the Tekken towers and what you would have liked to see for them. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. G2+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.